Hey everyone, got a quick video today. Main topic is muscle connection, and what I mean by that is not necessarily the mind-muscle connection where you focus on getting a good contraction and you feel the muscle working as you're lifting. That's a topic for another day. What I'm talking about is the connectedness of the musculature of the body from joint to joint, from the origin point on the bone to the insertion point on the bone. Sometimes it's the same bone, sometimes it's from one bone to the other, sometimes the muscle connects between two joints. The reason I was bringing this up, the thing that spurred the topic was earlier today I was using a heat pack on the lower back area, and for some reason there was a warmth sensation away from the area that was being directly in contact with the heat pack. I was feeling the warmth around the right quad. I thought it was something in my pocket at first, but then I moved everything out of the pocket, so the only reason that the warmth came from was the heat pack. Now, I'm not sure exactly if this is because the heat pack was stimulating one of the nerves in the lower back that affects the sensory perception around the quad muscle, or whether the heat was just being transferred from the origin point of the muscle towards the other end of the muscle. I imagine it was one of the muscles that wraps around the low back, goes across the hip joint and down the quad muscle. Now, one way to look at this is imagine the whole body as a kinetic chain, an actual chain, if you will, as a metaphor, and each link in the chain connects to the adjacent links, and they all make one long chain. If you think of the body this way, any sort of damage or any sort of break in one of the links affects the entire chain. So imagine doing one movement itself, like the squat or the bench press, deadlift. It uses so much musculature across the body, so many joints are affected. One giant chain being used to do the movement. Now, where this comes into practice, what it means for what I'm doing day to day with the workouts is you definitely want to start by having a good warm-up, and usually the way I do it is just go from head to toe, stretch and do mobility exercises, starting up at the neck joint, down to the shoulders, the thoracic spine, lumbar spine, hip joint, knees, ankles, from head to toe, stretch, do mobility exercises to make sure everything, all the links in the chain are functioning properly and adequately warmed up prior to exercise. The other thing to consider is if there's any sort of injury or dysfunctional movement pattern, is to examine the site of where the pain or the injury is, where it feels like, or where the movement breakdown happens, and then also go above the kinetic chain and below the kinetic chain to see if any of the other joints are possibly affecting the one that is dysfunctional. For example, if there's a faulty throwing motion or pain during a throwing motion, look at the elbow joint, look at the shoulder joint, the wrist joint, and even as far back as the hips, and see if any of those can cause the break in the chain or the dysfunction in the chain. So just two things to consider when looking at the body as looking at how the muscles are connected in the body as a kinetic chain, each link impacting the other, making for a total body functioning and movement capabilities. So things to consider: warm up properly, head to toe, and also to, when examining any sort of damage or injury, look at above and below the kinetic chain.